Basically, this particular module, you guys get to design your own project. So you should be thinking of things that you like taking pictures of. Usually if you have some kind of connection to it, it makes it a lot better. You're more interested in it. But you also want to push yourself a little bit, right? Like, I don't want to just grab my camera and take a picture of the first 5 things I see, and then the next 5 things I see, and then I go, okay, I'm done. I can usually pick up on when people are putting effort into projects and when they're not. So just keep that in mind. You are going to have 10 final images. One thing I think that usually helps these kinds of projects is if you come up with some kind of theme. So your picture should tie together in some kind of way. If you think back earlier in the semester, we had the theme of touch for one of our assignments. So you could take it in that direction. You might pick a word or an idea or an emotion and decide, I'm going to take a picture or a series of pictures based on the idea of envy, or based on the color green, or based on enthusiasm. You certainly can do that, or you could take it a little bit more literally. I have a couple pictures I'm going to show you that are based on nature and also based on location. So those are also ways to tie your project together. You'll see that Module 12 to do. I'll show you a couple examples, just talk really quickly about what makes them good images, and then show you the discussion. Again, we are done with our reading and quizzes for this particular class. There's a few chapters we didn't get to, and those you are free to review on your own. So this student choice photography project, of course, you can see the typical assignment sheet that I have. We're going back to Flickr. You only have to write about a paragraph for this particular assignment. There's no big long writing assignment with this one. Again, up to you, theme, subject, approach. You could take it from a technical standpoint. You could say, I'm gonna focus on, aperture again. I really want to redo that one because I wasn't in love with the first time it came around. I'm going to take 10 pictures using 10 different apertures. I think it's a little bit better when there's some kind of actual thematic link to them though. But again, you are in charge with this one. You can see there's a couple tips that I have. Effort is really the biggest one. I know we're getting close to the end of the semester. I know if you have other classes that you're taking, it's easy to want to put this one off to the side because it's online, but put in the effort that this project deserves. You edit and upload 10 photographs, and you can see that under the specs. You can always include more pictures if you want. If you upload like 50, I might not look through all 50. But if you do say, you're like, oh man, 10 isn't cutting it, I really have 20 great pictures, then upload 20. 10 is the minimum for this particular assignment. And you'll see that you should include a thesis statement with your project, and that's actually going to be your discussion posting this week. If you bear with me for just a second, I will show you. You can see that's how it's graded. But I'll show you a good example of a couple well-written thesis statements. So these are all under your module. Student choice example A, and I'll show you the pictures that go along with this. This is this person's thesis paragraph. Okay, a couple of the reasons why I chose this one in particular to show you. Number one, they're still paying attention to grammar. They're still paying attention to word choice. So, again, I know this isn't an English class and I don't expect it to be one, but they can write well. That is a skill set that's just important in general throughout life. I think about cover letters. I think about resumes, just big picture. So this person writes really well, and they're also really specific. So I'm just going to highlight a couple sentences. I'm not going to read this to you because this is on D2L for you to read. But they said, for my choice project, I chose nature as my theme because I think nature has the best lighting and colors for photography. So there you go. Number one, it's clear what they're writing or what they're taking pictures about, and also what they're writing. It says, in my first picture, cooperative geese, I used a telephoto lens so I wouldn't have to get too close and frighten them. I adjusted the levels and hues in Photoshop to make dark parts of the geese more visible. So they're specific. They're telling me exactly how they took the picture and what they did in the digital edits to change their picture around. And you can see they've gone through and listed each particular picture. Weed is next, color tree is next, Then Pony is the fourth one, and the fifth picture is named Dwayne. This person had a pretty good sense of humor. So they also told us at the end, all of my pictures were taken in the late morning on or around East Fork Lake. So that also tied them together. So it wasn't just a general nature theme. They also chose one specific location to take pictures near. I'm going to show you, if you hit next, that PDF will pop up. I'm just going to bring it up in my Finder here because I think it's just a little bit easier to look at. That's just personal preference. So here we go. We can see this is cooperative geese. I scroll down to the next picture. This is that weed picture. Then the color tree picture, which you can really see those digital edits. There's our pony picture. And then this one is Dwayne, which if you go back and read that lovely thesis statement, you'll see why. I think this one is a really nice image just because of the strong lighting and that really nice up close detail here. So it's a selection of images. I mean, it really is. But you guys are going to have 10. This particular example is of 5. So you're just going to do this exact same thing except for 10 images. I also have one more image. I have a lot of really good examples of this project, so it's always hard for me to limit myself to how many I show you. But I want these to be an idea. I don't want you to feel like you have to copy these. So this is a different student that said, for this project, I took a series of photographs around my neighborhood. There you go again. They've told me specifically what their project is about. It says these include photographs of our cat Bougie, as well as close-up photographs of nature. So this particular paragraph is shorter, and that's not the end of the world. At least give me 5 sentences. Again, I like the detail, but this person was also specific just overall about their project. It says, I decided to take a different approach to taking photos. I sat the camera on whatever was stable and clicked the button. So leading up to this point in the semester, this student had been kind of taking pictures, just holding the camera up in the air. And that can lead to a lot of shake, right? If you guys maybe have been experiencing that. Using a tripod helps, or if you don't have a tripod, sitting your camera down on something stable. So she decided, I'm going to try this, see how my pictures turn out. She goes on to tell us about her editing process and specifically what tools she used. So those pictures are a little bit different for her. So you can see here, this is her first one, and it almost, she really played with scale. So here's that first image, her second image. Again, she said these were images taken around her neighborhood, but they almost start to feel, because of the depth of field she's using, especially in this one, that they're these like almost alien landscapes, even though I know they're not. And then we have the cat. I know we have a lot of animal lovers in this class, so I'm sure we'll have cats and dogs and horses and all kinds of things pop up in different people's examples. So the clarity of these pictures are also really nice on both examples that I showed you. So again, I hit next. It's a PDF. Module 12 Flickr group. This is where you go to upload it. And then this is a student choice project thesis. So I don't want you to freak out and think, oh my gosh, I have to write yet another 1 to 2 page paper. No, this is a paragraph. This is just communicating to me and to your classmates what your vision for your project was, what your inspiration was, what your theme was, what your direction was, what your goal was, why you accomplished it, how you accomplished it, and what you want the viewer to see. My examples, again, are inspiration. I don't expect you to copy them. So keep that in mind when you're looking through these. Same typical response for full credit, reply to at least 2 other postings. And again, up to this point, you guys have been doing a really, really great job with discussion. So length, if you are a person who's regularly turning things in, has not been a problem. You guys usually go above and beyond. I'll have, you guys will write 10 sentences about your work, which is great. I just write the minimum down. You guys can always go above that. So I really love this unit because it gives you guys the reins. You get to take control. You get to take pictures of what you love. Just make sure, again, there's a balance, that you're challenging yourself as well.